Hare Krishna everyone, we're continuing to read Teachings of Lord Kapila, the book by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Chapter 7, Lord Kapila begins to explain self-realization. Text 12. Maitreya uvacha iti svamatur niravadyam ipsitam nishamya pumsam apavarga vardhanam dhiya bhinandyatma vatam satam gati babhasha ishat smita shobhitananaha. Translation. After hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her within himself for her questions. And thus, his face smiling, he explained the path of the transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization. Purport. Devahuti has surrendered her confession of material entanglement and her desire to gain release. Her questions to Lord Kapila are very interesting for persons who are actually trying to get liberation from material entanglement and attain perfection. Unless one is interested in understanding his spiritual life or his constitutional position, and unless he also feels inconvenience in material existence, his human form of life is spoiled. Only a foolish man does not care for the transcendental necessities of life and simply engages like an animal in eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Lord Kapila was very much satisfied by his mother's questions, because the answers stimulate one's desire for liberation from the conditional life of material existence. Such questions are called apavarga vardhanam. Those who are actually spiritually interested are called sat, or devotees. Satam prasangat. Sat means that which eternally exists, and asat means that which is not eternal. Unless one is situated on the spiritual platform, he is not sat, he is asat. The asat stands on a platform which will not exist, but anyone who stands on the spiritual platform will exist eternally. As spirit soul, everyone exists eternally, but the asat has accepted the material world as his shelter, and therefore he is full of anxiety. Asadgrahan, the desire to enjoy matter, is the cause of the soul's being asat. Actually, the spirit soul is not asat. As soon as one is conscious of this fact and takes to Krishna consciousness, he becomes sat. Satam gati, the path of the eternal, is very interesting to persons who are after liberation, and his lordship Kapila began to speak about that path. Those who are sat are thus transcendentalists advanced in spiritual life, and when they hear questions from those who want to understand spiritual life, they become very happy. Transcendentalists are not interested in worldly talks. Indeed, worldly talks are very disgusting to them, and they avoid the company of those who talk about nonsensical worldly affairs. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised his disciples, Gramya Katha na shunibe. The word Gramya refers to that pertaining to one's village, society, or neighborhood. People are interested in talking about Gramya Katha. Newspapers, for instance, are filled with Gramya Katha. There's no spiritual understanding in them. In the United States, there are many newspapers, and simply to publish the New York Times, many trees have to be killed. Now there is paper scarcity. Why are they uselessly killing trees just for Gramya Katha? They're only interested in making a profit. There is, however, another kind of Katha, Krishna Katha. There are literatures which may be nicely presented from the literary point of view, but if there is no glorification of the Supreme Lord, they are useless. Na yadvachaschitra padam harer yasho jagat pavitram pragrinita karhichit tadvayasam tirtham ushanti manasa na yatra hamsa niramantyushikshaya. Quote, those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a pilgrimage for crows. Since the all-perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. Unquote. Bhagavatam 1.5.10. Worldly literatures are like places where crows take pleasure. In the bird society, there are crows and swans, and crows are interested in places where filthy things are thrown. However, swans prefer nice, clear water with lotus flowers, and it is in such places that they take their pleasure. Similarly, there are men who are like crows and men like swans. That is a natural division. According to an old English proverb, birds of a feather flock together. Crows mix with crows, and swans mix with swans. Since devotees are like swans, hamsas, a most advanced devotee is called Paramahamsa. The Paramahamsas are not interested in subjects fit for crows. A person who is interested in inquiring about transcendental subjects, Krishna Katha, makes a Paramahamsa very glad. Therefore, Kapila Deva was very glad to hear that his mother was eager to receive information on how to be delivered from material bondage. Athame deva sammoham apakrashtum tvam arhasi yovagrahoham mameti etasmin yojitastvaya. Quote, now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with the body and subsequent bodily relations. Unquote. Srimad-Bhagavatam 3.25.10. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised his disciples never to eat palatable food, never to talk about village topics, and never to read ordinary novels, poems, and newspapers. One may ask, how is it that in the modern age these Europeans and Americans of the Krishna consciousness movement do not take interest in newspapers? Newspapers are very popular in the West. Every day, the papers are published in 3 or 4 divisions, and they're all selling. However, these American boys and girls who have come to Krishna consciousness have stopped reading newspapers. They do not know what is happening from day to day, and it does not matter. All of this is a waste of time. It is better that they read literatures like Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Why waste one's valuable time? Kapila Deva was very glad that his mother was interested only in spiritual advancement. This material world is called pavarga, and to nullify it is called apavarga. In this material world, people are laboring very hard simply to earn some money. This creates a hellish situation, and this is the way of material life. People have become so dull that they do not understand the meaning of liberation. They have become just like animals. If an animal is informed that there is such a thing as liberation, how will he understand it? It's not possible. Similarly, at the present moment, human beings have become exactly like animals. They do not know the meaning of apavarga, liberation. Yet there was a time when people understood that human life was meant for apavarga. The questions are raised by Devahuti, and the answers are given by Kapila Deva. That is, apavarga vardhanam. As far as material maintenance is concerned, the Shastras never stress it. Rather, they say that one's maintenance will come automatically. God gives food to animals, birds, and aquatics. Why should he not give it to one who is interested in apavarga? Unfortunately, people have no faith, and therefore good association is required. People should not waste their time associating with crows. They should associate with swans. When garbage is thrown out, crows and dogs come to see what is there, but no sane man will go. Those who are interested in trying to get pleasure out of this material world are actually chewing the chewed. Punah punash charvite charvananam. Bhagavatam 7.5.30. If one picks up a piece of sugar cane which has already been chewed, he is a fool. We must know that the juice has already been taken out of that sugar cane. What will one get by chewing it? However, there are animals who are simply interested in chewing the chewed. Material life means chewing the chewed. Jai, we're going to stop here for today. Very powerful point, and a lot of food for thought, especially for those who have not yet heard anything about the liberation and the path of spiritual advancement. Just one thing I just wanted to mention, that Srila Prabhupada mentioned New York Times, and our regards and respect to the New York Times. But and Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in some other place that sometimes preachers, in order to know what is going on in the world, in order to help people begin their spiritual life, they also read newspapers. But it's important for us to understand that it's not like they're engrossed or absorbed in it, thinking that this is all in all, this is reality, and this is, they're looking at it from a different platform. So, no offense, hope nobody took any offense. Jai. Thank you so much again for tuning in. The link to this book is in the description. Please read it along with us and share it with everyone you know. Please, this is very, very important. We would be really glad. And visit our website, shravanamdiaries.com, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.